This video is brought to you by Scout's Eyes. If you're a talented footballer and you want to get yourself in front of a scout, visit Scout's Eyes right now or click the link in the description.
Welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. I'm back in the studio. The walk has been completed. Of course, I was doing this charity walk for Prostate Cancer UK ahead of the brand new season, walking around all the Premier League grounds in London. I walked from Brentford to Fulham, to Chelsea, to Crystal Palace, to West Ham, to Tottenham, and then finished at Arsenal yesterday. It was a long, hard slog, I tell you. It was not easy. My hamstring's still paining me right now. I tell you, you do feel it. But it's all worth it. Please, please, please donate if you can. I've completed it now, so you can donate now. I did it, right? So please donate to the charity. The link's in the description. And I want to raise as much money as we can and awareness for a really horrible disease, prostate cancer, that affects a lot of men. So please, if you can, get involved in that right now. We'll be pushing that still over the next few days for people to sponsor. Of course, the Premier League season is upon us. First game tonight. First game for Arsenal tomorrow. 3 p.m. UK kickoff against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The season will be underway. One signing in the bag so far, Ricardo Calafiori, but I'm sure, just like me and every other Arsenal fan, we want more. We want more signings. Now, summer long, we've been linked with Mikel Merino. It still has not been done. It's been starting to get a bit frustrating now, you know what I mean? Because it seems like it's on the verge of being done. It seems like, the player we know definitely wants to come. Arsenal definitely want the player. Real Sociedad resigned to the fact that they're going to lose the player, but still the deal's not been done. And a lot of frustration around fans because they look at other clubs like, say, your Chelsea's and United's and how quick they've been able to get some of their deals done. And they're like, why is this dragging on? Why? Is it that Arsenal drive too hard a bargain sometimes for some of these things? Or are they just doing smart transfer business? They know the player wants to come and they're going to save themselves a couple of £1 million by holding out and getting what they want. But Edu's reportedly been over there in Spain doing the negotiations, still haggling over these fees. It does look like it's a matter of time before Mikel Merino will become an Arsenal player. There was a lot of talk at the start of this week that it would be done this week in time for him to be announced before the game against Arsenal. The game for Arsenal against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Not looking likely at the moment, but let's wait and see. It will happen, matter of time, just when. The other one that seems to be dragging is this one, a sale that's going out. That's Nketiah. Yesterday, Bournemouth announced that they'd signed Evan Nilsson, which, was a striker that they were looking at, signed him from Porto for big money. Now, that immediately meant that any hopes of Bournemouth signing Eddie Nketiah were gone. We know that Marseille, who originally trying to sign him, then decided to go for EI Wahi, and they pulled out of the deal. Now we're hearing today that Nottingham Forest are very interested in signing Eddie Nketiah. Again, are Arsenal driving too hard of a bargain when it comes to the fee of Eddie Nketiah? We know that Marseille really wanted to sign him, but ended up pulling out of the deal. Is it that Arsenal pushing too hard for the amount of money they want for some of these players? I mean, me and Turkish were talking about this. Or are they right to demand the right and proper fee? When I see that, Ruta yesterday of Leeds, since he's come in to Leeds as a striker, hasn't been that great, has gone to Brighton for nearly £40 million. I mean, you think to yourself, surely Eddie Nketiah is worth 30 million, but let's see what happens with that. It's Nottingham Forest, the latest team that are very interested in him. Now, I spoke about this one yesterday, Bruno Guimaraes, and when I was speaking about it, I was like, oh, come on, surely not. But the rumours persist today that both Arsenal and Manchester City are patiently waiting because they both see a chance where they can sign Bruno Guimaraes before the end of the transfer window. He's apparently got this £100 million release clause, and the sounds coming out through agents and that is that he could move before the end of the transfer window. Now, Eddie Howe has reported today that Eddie Howe is pushing hard to make sure that this does not happen. He wants to make sure he keeps Bruno Guimaraes. They've had to do a lot of juggling and sales to try and stay within all the profit and sustainability rules to try and keep him. But could he leave before the end of the transfer window? There is going to be late moves in this transfer window. Personally, I still feel this is unlikely, especially if Merino comes in. It would then involve, Arsenal probably trying to move out Thomas Partey, who yesterday was pictured saying that he's looking forward to the new season. I still see this as highly unlikely, but it's out there today, so we're on it again. What about this one? We know that Arsenal are looking for a right winger, right? That is the position, apart from the box-to-box midfielder, which they're trying to bring in with Merino. And if they keep Partey, the fact that, they'll be sorted then in defensive midfield with Declan Rice being there as well. The right winger position, the player that can come in if anything happens to Saka, the player that can give competition to Bukayo Saka. Federico Chiesa has now been available for a number of weeks. Been surprising that a lot of teams have not gone in for him. A few years ago, this guy was one of the hottest wingers in European football, still an Italian international, still only 26. I think he turns 27 in October. He's been totally frozen out by Juventus. They want him gone. I mean, he's not even training with the first team. They got him training with the kids. Should Arsenal make a move for Federico Chiesa? Roma are interested in him as well, and he's available on the cheap. Could be available for as little as 15 to 20 million pounds. Now, if we're looking for someone to back up Saka, if we're looking for someone who's an exciting, quick, dangerous player, surely a Federico Chiesa is not a bad buy. And Mikel Arteta is a type of manager that could revitalise his career and get him back to the levels he was playing at before he picked up a load of those injuries. Fascinating one, this one. Roma's still the favourites to sign him, but should Arsenal be making a move for Federico Chiesa? I would love to hear from you guys today on this one, because, as I said, a few years ago, ranked way higher than, your Martinellis and people like that. On the other wing, he can play right and left as well. Should we make a move? We're also being linked today with a young player from Brazil. His name's called Vitor Reis. He plays for Palmeiras. This is according to Dario AS. They claim that Arsenal are amongst one of the clubs that are very interested and are monitoring this player very closely. He's attracted the interest of big clubs around the world, including Real Madrid, Manchester United and Chelsea, as well as Arsenal, all monitoring him closely. We know that Edu has an eye for these Brazilian stars. He only made his senior debut for Palmeiras in June, but is already getting rave reviews. Only 18. He captained the Brazil under-16 team and Brazil under-17 team, and is a centre-back, and is really interested in all these teams. One to watch, maybe not going to be something that happens this transfer window, but another centre-back. Get us some forward players. We seem to, a few years ago, right, Arsenal used to be always buying forwards, wingers. When we needed a defensive midfielder, when we needed better centre-backs, we weren't buying them. Now, we seem to just have the monopoly on defenders. Defenders is what we seem to buy. It's funny. Charles Sagoe Jr., who of course is a Arsenal youngster who's come through the academy, is being linked with a move away today to Shrewsbury Town. They would like to take him on loan. Now, you may remember Charles Sagoe Jr. He made his debut in the Carabao Cup last season against Brentford and did brilliantly. I remember he came in and we were sort of he came in for Saka, even though he's primarily a left winger. He came in for Saka and did really well. And there's a lot of people saying, hey, maybe this guy's the answer to the backup for Saka. He went out on loan to Swansea, didn't really have a great time of it, only played a couple of games for Swansea. Obviously, Arsenal want to get him playing loads of games. He's got a contract with Arsenal, but that expires at the end of next season. There's a lot of talk that he could go out on loan and get a contract extension from Arsenal. They want to protect the value. Of course, they've seen some of these youngsters go for nothing, and they don't want to see that happen again. But Charles Sagoe Jr. could be going out on loan to Shrewsbury Town, but also get his contract with Arsenal extended. So let's see how that one develops. So those are the rumours for today. As I said, don't forget, I've completed that walk now. So please, please, please donate. The link is in the description. Whoever donates the most money, by the way, is going to be able to come with me to a Premier League game and watch the game with me, a Premier League Arsenal game. However, listen, just donate as much as you can. And that's going to be much appreciated. And of course, Arsenal back in action tomorrow against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We got it covered here on AFTV. Watch-alongs on our brand new set. We've also, of course, going to be at the game speaking to fans, so make sure you check it out. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow with another Transfer Daily.